Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm going to do another 5 quotes from the Power and Conflict cluster, and that's for the GCSE AQA specification. We're going to look at Carol Ann Duffy, war photographer. I've got my text here in front of me. You should have it too. Let's get started. The first 2 lines of the poem are my first quote. In his darkroom, he is finally alone, with spools of suffering set out in ordered rows. Straight away, Duffy introduces us to the photographer, who is a lone figure and he's in the dark, and it's his job to create pictures. That second line there, spools of suffering, the sibilance with the alliteration of the s, set out, spools of suffering set out in rows. We even have the s at the end there of the rows. This really stresses that there has been an enormous amount of suffering. Spools, plural, set out in ordered rows. Here he has a catalogue of suffering in front of him, and it has been all taken on his film. Of course, this is old-fashioned film when you had to go into a darkroom and process it, and there would be actual physical film in front of him that he is unwinding. So it's as if he's unwinding the story of the people that he has photographed. My second quote is at the beginning of stanza 2, and it's just a very simple monosyllabic sentence. He has a job to do. All those monosyllables. It's telling us that he has work to do, that he has this job of telling stories with his pictures. It seems very straightforward and very simple. But again, it focuses us on the identity of this photographer and him being alone in his darkroom and having to put his head down and perhaps remove himself from the emotions. But of course, the emotions then become very present in the poem. For my next quote, I'm going to look at the last line of stanza 3. And how the blood stained into a foreign dust. Now, I think this is very powerful because he is looking at the body, he is taking a photo of it, and the blood from the body and the injuries has drained down into the dust, into the road, and has made a kind of imprint. And here it's as if almost the photograph that he takes is doing the same as the blood on the sand. It's making an imprint on our emotions, it's making an imprint on the film, it's making an imprint on the world. So this is a very powerful image of blood spilled during conflict and during terror, makes a very permanent imprint on emotional lives of people and the physical lives of people who live in the world. The next quote that I want to talk about is line 19. It follows straight on from the blood stained into foreign dust. 100 agonies in black and white. And that word agonies, again, plural, 100 of them. They are there in front of him. They come up in pictures. He seems to be a newspaper journalist. He's a war photographer, and he is journaling the story. The agony, the pain, that word agony really stresses pain. It's also emotional pain. We agonise over things. We have agonies about things, but we also say, oh, I'm in agony if we've got a bad pain. And here they are in black and white presented to people to read. Now, this poem, of course, is about his job. He has a job to do, taking the photos, so bringing the agonies and the pain back to rural England. And I just want to read this last quote for you. This is my 5th quote. The reader's eyeballs prick with tears between the bath and pre-lunch beers. And this is really the heart of what this poem is about. That people may see these photographs and they may read the story and they have momentarily thoughts of pain and agony and sympathy, and their eyes just prick with tears, just little, they're not streaming, they're just little pricks of tears. However, this is juxtaposed with their daily life of bath and pre-lunch beers, probably at the weekend. And the rhyming of the tears with the beers suggests that the beers kind of wipe it all away. And here we are in rural England. I'm bringing the photos to you. I want you to feel the emotion and the pain of these people, and I want to do my job by telling you about this. But ultimately, people don't care. People are just momentarily affected, and then they put the newspaper away. So I think this is really powerful with that internal rhyme of tears and beers, and the reader's eyeballs only prick with tears. So really powerful there at the end of the poem, and talking about the audience for his photographs and how really they seem quite shallow. Hope you've enjoyed that. It's given you 5 great quotes to learn before the exam. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time for more poetry.